Learn the alphabet. With animal names, fruits and vegetables names, vehicle names, clothing names, and with the names of objects. We go over the entire alphabet 4 times in this video with over 30 minutes of content, so be sure and watch all the way through. Right here and right now. Let's get started.
Welcome to Feed Your Brain.
Let's learn the alphabet. Let's start with animals. This is the letter A. It's the first letter of the alphabet. This animal begins with the letter A. What animal is this? This is an ant, and yes, ants are insects, and ants are also animals. Ants belong to the kingdom Animalia. This is the letter B. This animal begins with the letter B. This is a beetle. It is an insect, like the ant, and it is also in the family Animalia, so it's also an animal. This is the letter C. What animal is this? This is a cat, and it begins with the letter C, cat. This is the letter D. What animal is this? This is a dog. Dog begins with the letter D. This is the letter E. This animal begins with the letter E. Can you guess what this animal is? Yes, that's right, this is an elephant. Very good. E is for elephant. This is the letter F. What animal is this that begins with the letter F? Yes, that's right, this is a frog. F is for frog. What letter is this? This is the letter G. This larger letter is the capital G, and this smaller letter is the lowercase g. What is this animal that begins with the letter G? This is a goat. Yes, that's right. You are so smart. Goat begins with the letter G. What letter is this? This is the letter H. What animal is this? This is a horse. Horse begins with the letter H, horse. What letter is this? This letter can be confusing. This capital letter looks like a lowercase l, but this capital letter is the letter I, and this is the lowercase I. What is this animal called that begins with the letter I? This is an iguana. Yes, very good. Iguana begins with the letter I. This is the letter J, both the capital letter J and the lowercase letter j. What animal can you think of that begins with the letter J? How about an animal that lives in the sea? How about jellyfish? Jellyfish begins with the letter J. Great, very good. What letter is this? This is the letter K, this is capital K, and this one is lowercase k. What animal is this that begins with the letter K? That's right. This is a kangaroo. Kangaroo begins with the letter K. Very good. This is the letter L. What animal that lives in the ocean begins with the letter L? If you guessed lobster, you are correct. Lobster begins with the letter L. What letter is this? This is the letter M, this is capital M, and this is lowercase m. What animal that lives in the forest begins with the letter M? If you guessed monkey, then you are correct. Monkey begins with the letter M. What letter is this? This is the letter N. What animal is this that begins with a letter N? It looks like a salamander. But this animal is called a newt. Newt begins with the letter N. This letter is the letter O. Both the uppercase O and the lowercase o look the same. What animal that lives in the sea begins with the letter O? If you said octopus, then you are correct. Octopus begins with the letter O. This is the letter P. This is the capital P, and this is the lowercase p. What bird begins with the letter P? Pelican is a bird that begins with the letter P. P is for pelican. This is the letter Q. What bird begins with the letter Q? This bird is a quail. Quail begins with the letter Q. What letter is this? This is the letter R, this is uppercase R. And this is lowercase r. What massive land animal begins with the letter R? Rhinoceros begins with the letter R. This is the letter S. The uppercase S and the lowercase s look the same. What animal that lives on land and swims in the sea for food begins with the letter S? Sea lion begins with the letter S. S is for sea lion. What letter is this? This is an uppercase T, and this is a lowercase t. What animal begins with the letter T? Turtle begins with the letter T. T is for turtle. This is the letter U. This is the uppercase U. And this is the lowercase u. What animal begins with the letter U? This is difficult to answer, because very few animals begin with the letter U. This is a bird, and on top of its head it looked like an umbrella. So this bird is called an umbrella bird. Umbrella bird begins with the letter U. This is the letter V. Uppercase V looks the same as lowercase v. What animal begins with the letter V? This is difficult to answer also, because not many animals begin with the letter V. But the viper snake does indeed begin with the letter V. This is the letter W. Uppercase W and lowercase w look the same. What animal begins with the letter W? How about a worm? Worm begins with the letter W. Worms are indeed animals. This is the letter X, this is uppercase X, and this is lowercase x, and they look the same. What animal begins with the letter X? This is impossible to answer, because no common names of animals begin with the letter X, so we have to look at specific names of animals, and this type of squirrel begins with the letter X. This squirrel is called a xeris, which is an African ground squirrel. What letter is this? This is the letter Y, this is the uppercase Y. And this is the lowercase y. What is this animal? It begins with the letter Y. This is a yak. Yak begins with the letter Y. This is the letter Z. Uppercase Z and lowercase z look the same. What animal begins with the letter Z? Yes, of course, zebra begins with the letter Z. Very good. Z is for zebra. This next section is learn the alphabet with the names of fruits and vegetables. Enjoy! This is the letter A. This is uppercase A. And this is lowercase a. What fruit or vegetable begins with the letter A? That's right, apple begins with the letter A. You are so smart. A is for apple. This is what again? This is the letter B. This is the uppercase B. And this is the lowercase b. What fruit begins with the letter B? That's right, you guessed it. Banana begins with the letter B. Very good. B is for banana. This is the letter C. The uppercase C and the lowercase c look the same, but the lowercase c is smaller. What vegetable begins with the letter C? Yes, that's right. Carrot begins with the letter C. Great job! This is the letter D. Uppercase D. And lowercase d. Do you know what fruit this is? This is dragon fruit. Dragon fruit begins with the letter D. This is the letter E. This is the uppercase E. And this is the lowercase e. Do you know what vegetable this is? It begins with the letter E. This is an eggplant. Eggplant begins with the letter E. This is the letter F. This is the uppercase F. And this is the lowercase f. Can you think of a vegetable that begins with the letter F? How about these? Do you know what these are? These are fennel seeds. Used to add flavor to food. Fennel seeds begins with the letter F. This is the letter G. Uppercase G. And lowercase g. Can you think of a fruit that begins with the letter G? How about grapes? Grapes begins with the letter G. This is the letter H. This is the uppercase H. And this is the lowercase h. Can you name a fruit that begins with the letter H? How about honeydew? This is a honeydew melon cut in half, and honeydew begins with the letter H. This is an uppercase I, even though it looks like an L. This is an I. And this is a lowercase I. Can you guess a vegetable that begins with the letter I? How about this vegetable? Do you know what this vegetable is called? This is iceberg lettuce, and it begins with the letter I. This is a capital J. And this is a lowercase j. Can you name a fruit that begins with the letter J? How about this fruit? Do you know what this fruit is? This is jackfruit growing on a tree. And jackfruit begins with the letter J. This is a capital K, and this is a lowercase k. Can you think of a fruit that begins with the letter K? How about this fruit? Do you know what this fruit is called? This is a kiwi, and kiwi begins with the letter K. This is the letter L. This is the capital L, and this is the lowercase l. Can you name a fruit that begins with the letter L? How about this fruit? Do you know what this fruit is called? This is a lemon, and lemon begins with the letter L. What letter is this? This is the letter M. This is capital M. And this is lowercase m. Can you think of a vegetable that begins with the letter M? How about this one? Do you know what this is called? These are mushrooms. And mushroom begins with the letter M. This is the letter N. This is capital N. And this is lowercase n. Can you think of a fruit that begins with the letter N? How about this fruit? This fruit is a nectarine. And nectarine begins with the letter N. This is the letter O. This is capital O. And this is lowercase o. This fruit begins with the letter O. Do you know what fruit this is? Yes, that's right, this is an orange. Very good. This is the letter P. This is uppercase P. And this is lowercase p. Can you think of a vegetable that begins with the letter P? How about this one? Do you know what vegetable this is? This is a potato. And potato begins with the letter P. This is the letter Q. This is capital Q. And this is lowercase q. Do you know of a grain that begins with the letter Q? Do you know what grain this is? This is quinoa. And quinoa begins with the letter Q. This is the letter R. This is capital R. And this is lowercase r. Can you think of a vegetable that begins with the letter R? Do you know what this vegetable is? These are radishes. Radish begins with the letter R. This is the letter S. This is capital S. And this is lowercase s. Do you know what fruit this is? It begins with the letter S. Yes, that's right. This is a strawberry. Very good. Strawberry begins with the letter S. This is the letter T. This is the uppercase T. And this is the lowercase t. Can you guess a fruit or vegetable that begins with the letter T? How about this? Do you know what this is? This is a tomato. And tomato begins with the letter T. This is the letter U. This is capital U. And this is lowercase u. Can you think of a fruit or vegetable that begins with the letter U? Maybe you can't. Very few fruits or vegetables begin with the letter U. But here is one. This fruit is called ugni. And ugni begins with the letter U. This is letter V. This is uppercase V. And this is lowercase v. Can you think of a vegetable that begins with the letter V? Do you know what these are? These are vanilla beans. And vanilla begins with the letter V. This is the letter W. This is capital W. And this is lowercase w. Can you name a fruit that begins with the letter W? Yes, that's right. This is a watermelon, and watermelon begins with the letter W. Very good. This is the letter X. This is uppercase X. And this is lowercase x. Can you think of a fruit or a vegetable that begins with the letter X? It's difficult to think of any, because very few fruits or vegetables begin with the letter X. But there is this fruit. And this fruit is called Ximenia, and Ximenia begins with the letter X. This is the letter Y. This is uppercase Y. And this is lowercase y. Can you think of a vegetable or fruit that begins with the letter Y? Very few begin with Y. But how about this vegetable? These are yams. And yam begins with the letter Y. This is the letter Z. This is uppercase Z. And this is lowercase z. Can you think of a fruit or vegetable that begins with the letter Z? Not many do. Do you know what these are? These are zucchini. And zucchini begins with the letter Z. This third section is learning the alphabet with vehicles, clothes, objects, and food. Have fun learning. This is the letter A. What is this? This is an airplane that flies passengers up high in the sky. Airplane begins with the letter A. This is the letter B. What is this? You sit or stand inside it, and it floats on water. This is a boat. Very good. And boat begins with the letter B. This is the letter C. What is this? This is a car. And car begins with the letter C. Great job! What letter is this? This is the letter D. What vehicle is this? This is a dump truck. And dump truck begins with the letter D. What letter is this? This is the letter E. What are these that the arrows are pointing to? These are earrings. And earrings begin with the letter E. This is the letter F. Who is this? This is a firefighter. And firefighter begins with the letter F. This is the letter G. What is this? That's right, this is a garbage truck. Very good. And garbage truck begins with the letter G. This is the letter H. What is this? This is a house. House begins with the letter H. This is the letter I. This is a glass of soda. And what are these floating in the soda, keeping it cold? These are ice cubes. And ice cubes begin with the letter I. This is the letter J. What is this man wearing to keep warm? This is a jacket. And jacket begins with the letter J. This is the letter K. What is this? This is a key. And key begins with the letter K. This is the letter L. What is this? This is a ladder. And ladder begins with the letter L. This is the letter M. What is this vehicle? This is a motorcycle, and it has only 2 wheels. And what letter does motorcycle begin with? Motorcycle begins with the letter M. This is the letter N. What is around this woman's neck? Yes, this is a necklace. Very good. And necklace begins with the letter N. This is the letter O. And what is this? This is an ocean liner. It can also be called a cruise ship. And ocean liner begins with the letter O. This is the letter P. What is this that the arrow is pointing to? This is a pair of pants. You can also call these blue jeans. And pants begins with the letter P. This is the letter Q. And what meal is this? This is a quesadilla, and not only are quesadillas delicious, but also, quesadilla begins with the letter Q. This is the letter R. And what is this girl wearing to keep dry from the rain? This is a raincoat. And raincoat begins with the letter R. This is the letter S. And do you know what this reptile is? This is a snake. And snake begins with the letter S. This is the letter T. And do you know what this vehicle is called? This is a truck or a pickup truck. And truck begins with the letter T. This is the letter U. And what are these 2 girls standing under? Yes, that's right. This is an umbrella. to keep you dry from the rain, or to keep you shaded from the sun. And umbrella begins with the letter U. This is the letter V. And what is this that is cleaning the floor? Yes, that's right, this is a vacuum cleaner, very good. And vacuum cleaner begins with the letter V. This is the letter W. And what is this that tells time and you wear on your wrist? This is a watch. And watch begins with the letter W. Very good. This is the letter X. Do you know what this is? This is an X-ray. And X-ray begins with the letter X. This is the letter Y. And what is this white creamy food in this bowl? This is a bowl of yogurt. And yogurt begins with the letter Y. This is the letter Z. And what is this that you use to open and close a jacket or other types of clothing? Yes, that's right, this is a zipper. And zipper begins with the letter Z. Very good. This fourth section of learning the alphabet uses random words. We hope you learn a lot. What letter do you think this animal begins with? Do you know what animal this is? With the long, slender nose and long, bushy tail? This is an anteater. And what letter does anteater begin with? Anteater begins with the letter A. Very good. Next is the letter B. And here is the image. Do you know what these are called, and the word begins with the letter B? If you said boxes, you are correct. These are boxes. And boxes begins with the letter B. What little animal is this? It begins with the letter C. Do you know what this animal is called? This is a caterpillar, very good. And caterpillar begins with the letter C. Do you know what this yummy treat is called? That's right, this is a donut, and aren't these so delicious? And what letter does donut begin with? Yes, that's right, donut begins with the letter D. Good job, you are so smart! Do you know the names of the planets? What planet is this one? This is planet Earth. And you live on planet Earth. And planet Earth begins with what letter? Earth begins with the letter E. Very good. What are these? These cover a bird. Do you know what they are called? These are called feathers. And what letter does the word feathers begin with? Yes, that's right, feathers begins with the letter F. Very good. What is this boy wearing over his eyes? This boy is wearing a pair of glasses. And what letter does glasses begin with? Glasses begins with the letter G. Good job! What aircraft is this called that can hover in the air? This is a helicopter. And what letter does the word helicopter begin with? Helicopter begins with the letter H. Good job! What is this dessert called that's on top of the cone? Yes, that's right, this is yummy ice cream. And what letter does ice cream start with? Yes, you are right again, ice cream begins with the letter I, very good. What vegetable is this? It starts with the letter J. This is a jalapeno, and be careful, jalapenos are very spicy hot. Jalapeno begins with the letter J. Very good. What is this that you fly up high in the air on a windy day? This is a kite. And what letter does the word kite start with? Yes, that's right. Kite starts with the letter K. Very good. What object is this that has a light inside that can turn on and off? This is a lamp, and what letter does lamp start with? Yes, that's right. Lamp starts with the letter L. Very good. What yummy dessert is this? It is a round, colored cookie with a ganache or buttercream filling between two halves. So what is this called? This is a macaron. And what letter does macaron begin with? Macaron begins with the letter M. What is this part on your face called that you breathe from? This is your nose. Yes, very good. And what letter does nose begin with? Nose begins with the letter N. Good job. What is this giant body of water that extends as far as the eye can see? This is the ocean. And what letter does ocean begin with? Ocean begins with the letter O. Great job. What is this object called that you write with? This is a pencil. And can you tell what letter the word pencil begins with? Pencil begins with the letter P. You're doing great. This is a US currency coin. Can you tell which one this coin is? 4 of these equals $1. This coin is a quarter. And the word quarter begins with the letter Q. Do you know what animal this is? It looks like it's wearing a mask with the black fur around its eyes. This is a raccoon, and raccoon begins with the letter R. Very good. What type of food is this? It begins with the letter S. Yes, that's right. This is a sandwich, and sandwich begins with the letter S. What type of furniture is this called that the arrow is pointing at? It begins with the letter T. This is a table. Very good, and table begins with the letter T. What is this cycle called? It begins with the letter U. It only has one wheel. This is called a unicycle, and you have to be good at holding your balance to ride one of these, and unicycle begins with the letter U. What string instrument is this? It begins with the letter V. Do you know what this is called? This is called a violin, and it's a string instrument, and violin begins with the letter V. What animal is this that lives by the ocean? It begins with the letter W. Do you know what this animal is called, with the long tusks coming out of its mouth? This is a walrus, and walrus begins with the letter W. What instrument is this? This is considered a percussion instrument because its sound is made from striking the metal plates. Do you know what this instrument is called? This is a xylophone. And this toy version is a common gift to give to kids. Do you own a xylophone? Xylophone begins with the letter X. This is a big, fancy, expensive boat. Do you know what type of boat this is called? It begins with the letter Y. This big fancy boat is called a yacht, and isn't that a funny looking word? Y-A-C-H-T, spell yacht. And yacht begins with the letter Y. What machine is this? It is used to smooth out the ice on an ice skating rink or a hockey rink. This machine begins with the letter Z. Do you know what this machine is called? This is called a Zamboni, and Zamboni begins with the letter Z. This concludes our 4 sections of learning the alphabet. We hope you have learned a lot. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, that helps a lot.
Feed your brain.